Need something? What? Who? What happened? Back to Baldur's Gate. Back to Cazador. There's no other reason he'd want me alive. Well, of course he did. I'm hunting a poor innocent for money isn't exactly going to win sympathy, is it? No. I'm here to save you from a monstrous vampire. That's much more convincing. Of course, he'd send a Gur to hunt me down. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Cazador always had a twisted sense of humor. But why send anyone after me? I'm hardly a threat out here. We just have to be vigilant, keep our wits about us, and kill any monster hunters on sight. We can probably make an exception for Will. Probably. Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on.
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. There are many answers to that question. None are important.
There is a great divine energy indeed, but the source is unclear.
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Indeed. Farewell.
Yeah? The year, 10 Air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-knee delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic round here, right? Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. Agonizing. God's what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat. Anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Oh well. Can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God's damn it. Anyone but her.
Now? But I'm just getting comfy. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark. Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was. Soldier. We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mystra envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mystra was delighted. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
So, Will did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
May the darkness protect you.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mystra made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mystra who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mystra permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mystra, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. She could kill me for one, and that's not the worst of it. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mystra no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep restlessly, but it's my burden to bear. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
How can I help?
Here we go.
You spot a name on the dog's collar. Scratch.
How can I help?
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Anything of use?
Fetid smell assaults your nostrils. Dead flesh lies below. A great deal of it. The warm rush of power flows through you. You feel stronger, faster, better.
wondering about your queen, Blackith. What tales of her reach us are terrifying. I suppose that's not how you would describe her.
Blackith is unity, fear and beauty, life and unlife. Eyes like onyx, teeth like daggers. There is none more perfect.
Sounds vile. I assume the meaning of perfect was lost in translation.
Upper City, huh? Swish. Never spent much time there myself. Sounds good. I've always been curious what a Patriarch looks like.
That hit the spot.
Get over there! Surround him like! You spotted us. Good. It's like they say. No fun in skewing a pig what doesn't know he's cooked. And I didn't want to be stuck mopping up nosy trespassers like you. Ain't no one getting their way today.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Suppose it's best to save our strength for a real threat. Go on then. Just keep your nose clean.
What's on your mind? Apart from finding me an artifact to consume, which I assume you're pursuing with the appropriate urgency. That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you.
And came to resent your tutor, I bet. I taught them to fight, not to hate.
That hit the spot. I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters. Oh, it's not so bad once you get used to it. And, on the plus side, my tower in Waterdeep has never been so free of clutter. Sincerely, though, I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told. My lady, I bow to your boundless kindness. Nothing like a brisk stroll through the forest to invigorate the spirit.
I was just thinking the same thing, but less poetically.
Without so much as a stirring from our tadpoles.
A girl could get used to this. Looks like this town was ransacked. By soldiers, if my eyes don't deceive me.
Quite cruelly, too.
Must have been an awful day for the people who lived here.
If nothing else. I hope it was a mercifully short one.
Garbage. Come on, gotta be something here. Absolute how'd you know?
The whole village is falling to pieces. These goblins aren't exactly house-proud as occupiers go.
Wouldn't blame the gobs. Place looks like it's been abandoned a good while. But hey, maybe we can scare up a few dusty bottles
It
of wine
says there's a
somewhere.
cellar here somewhere.
I like your way of thinking. Split
I don't see
any
one.
takings we find?
Sister, you've got a deal. That's curious. What's that?
Just another crate.
An enchanted painted mirror. Raw magic leashed to a bauble. Almost sad. The magic is old and wavering, but you recognize it. The mirror is a thinking lock, hiding some secret. It seems some vain wizard took living magic and twisted it into a forgotten curio.
Speak your name. I do not know this name. If you are known to my master, step forward and declare yourself an ally. Only a true ally of Ilintoth may pass. What think you of the Zolkir known as Zastan? You are no Zolkir, but are you wise? Tell me, why might one use balsam ointment? Acceptable, finally. If you could see anything in me, what would it be? No. This is my purpose. I know nothing else, but you cared to ask. No others ever did. Thank you. Be welcome.
A well-guarded laboratory. What were they hiding down here? Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Breathe deep and move. What's inside? A young cave bear. Killed and stuffed before its teeth were fully grown. Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Best avoid that trap.
Can't give up now.
The book is locked tight with no visible keyhole, only an oval recess in the cover's mouth. You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in. Beneath the allure, you feel the faintest echo of torment. There is great power in this book, but also great suffering.
A cursed book? How obvious. Whoever opens it deserves the fate that befalls them.
That looks terribly heavy. Why don't you let me carry it for you?
Need to find a way forward.
Do you have someone waiting for you in Baldur's Gate, Astarion? A sweetheart, perhaps?
Something good here, I hope.
You must be eager to get back, then. Slimmer pickings out in this wilderness.
Haven't seen that game in years. Let's move.
I heard you mumbling that line to yourself earlier. It needs more work.
Fortunate for his tongue, he didn't say it to me.
Let's have a look. Can't slow down.